So now we have set up the accounts, we've added deposits, we've written checks, we've reconciled the bank statement, which I recommend at least once a month, if not more often with online banking. Now, once a year at least, you need to see if you've made a profit and get some stuff for your accountant. So go down to this left, on the left-hand side, and go to Reports. There's a lot of different reports that you can do, but I just like the basic profit and loss, either standard or detail. Let's hit the standard and see what it is. So click it again, click it a couple times, and it brings it up. Now, once we get this screen, we can change what dates we want to look at, if we want the entire year, if we want last year. For right now, I'm going to say this month to date is fine because that's all we have. So it's going to say our company name, the time period. We had sales of 1,350 and these expenses. If you ever want to see what makes that up, this little magnifying glass, you double click on a number and it'll give you the details. And then you can just close it again. You want to see what made up that printing expense? There were 2 Shutterflies expenses. And then when you're done, you can print this, export it, or just close it. So that's a good one for your accountant at the end of the year because it has all of your expenses recorded. Detail is going to be similar, except for you don't have to drill down any. It'll just show you all of your income and all your expenses in total, which might be a good one to have as well if you don't have a lot of activity. Another one that you'll need is under vendors and payable, at least if you're in a state like Washington where you have sales report. You go down here, sales tax liability, and you double click on that. Now it's going last year, so I have to change it to this calendar year. And here we had 2 sales that were one in Auburn and one in Tacoma. It has the different sales tax rates. It has a taxable amount, non-taxable. So if you have an item that's not taxable out of the invoice, it would be listed here. And then it has this total sales tax. So this is how much at the end of the year you will need to pay into the state for sales tax that you have collected. Now in Washington state, there's also additional taxes you have to pay to the state, but this is the sales tax portion. And so it keeps track of that for you. Now if you go up here and go to the profit and loss, it doesn't show up on there, but you can also do a balance sheet. And that says what are your assets and what are your liabilities? How much do you have and how much do you owe? So if we look at that as of today, it's got our Bank of America bank account. How much do we have? It has that we have a Canon fixed asset, a camera, and it shows here that we have a liability. We owe the state of Washington this much money. So even though we have the money, not all of it belongs to us. Some of it belongs to the state at the end of the year. And then this amount, this opening balance equity, is pretty much how much have you earned in the past, and then net income is the current year's income for total equity. Opening balance equity, there's a lot more that goes into that number, but that's all you need to know for now. So those are some good reports for you to look at throughout the year to see where you're at, to make sure that you are keeping back some of the sales tax you've reported, to keep that cash on hand so at the end of the year you still have it, and things like that. So those are some good reports.